Welcome to the official press conference for Tezos WNO Ste-Marie versus Bastos, presented by Fat Tire, coming to you from the Sports Academy at the Star here in Frisco, Texas. This event goes down Friday night, November 11th, 7 o'clock Central Time. First three matches free on our FloGrappling YouTube, the prelims. The next five, the main card, only available on FloGrappling.com. All right, let's get this thing kicked off. This is our first of three free prelims. This is a featherweight match between, on my right, Maurice Ramirez of Marcio Andre Jiu-Jitsu. On my left, Kevin Carrasco of Aries. All right, let's kick it off with you, Maurice. This is your Who's Number One debut. You're kicking off the card. How you feel going into this thing?
Yeah, I feel awesome. Feel really ready for this fight, man.
How about you? Same question to you, Kevin.
Yeah, I feel ready. Try my best to prepare as much as I can with my teammates and just ready to showcase.
Kevin, how do you think you match up with Maurice? How do you think this match is going to go down?
I know for a fact that Maurice is an explosive fighter. You know, he likes to play top. He likes to keep the pace, and preparing myself for that kind of matchup, I feel like I'll be ready for that.
Same question to you, Maurice. What do you know about your opponent, Kevin, and how do you think this match goes down tomorrow night?
I think Kevin's really fast. I think he's very technical. He's just gonna be a tough guy, man. I'm ready for that.
Really looking forward to this one on our prelims. You know, we like to get exciting up-and-coming fighters out there, get eyes on them, so watch this one free on our YouTube. Let's kick it over to Connor over there. If you guys want to ask questions to anybody on this card, he'll be in the YouTube chat. Connor, we got any questions for these guys?
Yeah, absolutely. I was curious, you guys, what is your favorite matchup on the card, obviously aside from your own? Would you like to start us off?
That Cole Abate match and Damien.
What's your call for it?
It's a tough one, man. Whoever comes up on top is a better man, so I'm going to go with Cole.
We got a Cole. Go ahead.
You stole my line. I go for that same match too. I know that there was a different person matching up with it, but that doesn't mean it's not going to be an exciting match. I kind of think maybe Cole on this one as well.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
All right, this is going to be the first match of the free prelims. Up next, we will have Rosa Walsh and Emily Fernandez. All right, welcome back to the official press conference for Tezos WNO Ste-Marie versus Bastos, presented by Fat Tire. This is going to be your second preliminary match, second free match on our YouTube, going down tomorrow night, 7 o'clock Central Time. On my right, Rosa Walsh, representing Pedigo Submission Fighting, now based originally from Ireland, now based in Mount Vernon, Illinois. On my left, Emily Fernandez from Texas, Bruno Bastos Jiu-Jitsu. So, first off, Rosa, how you feeling going into this match tomorrow?
I'm really excited. I think I've watched all these events from the very start. I think the fact that I'm here now, it's just like a dream come true. So I'm just, I think, taking in every moment, and I'm really excited to go now tomorrow night.
Yeah, both you guys making I think every person on the prelims making their Who's Number One debut. Emily, how are you feeling about this match? What do you know about Rosa? And what do you think about this one?
I'm super excited for this match. I know Rosa's coming off a couple wins like Nogi Pans and ADCC Open, but I'm super excited to test myself against her and, show everybody my jiu-jitsu.
I'd like to ask you guys, we got a women's main event. I'd like to ask you guys, what do you think about this Mayssa Bastos versus Brianna Ste-Marie match that's headlining the card?
I think it's fantastic. I think two of the best athletes in the world, like regardless of gender, and I think the fact that they're matched up now, they're the main event, I think it's so deserving. It's going to be such a brilliant match, and I can't wait to watch it.
I agree. I'm really excited for their match. That's one of the matches I wanted to see at ADCC, so I'm glad we get to see it now.
All right, let's kick it over to Connor. Let's see if the fans got any questions for these two.
Yeah, we do have a few questions. Rosa, obviously, you've been hanging out with Fionn quite a bit alongside the Daisy Fresh crew. People were talking about they wanted a little bit of more about that. I was curious, what's it like been hanging out with Fionn, getting that training? How do you feel like you're, how's that helped you prepare for this matchup?
I think the fact that my best friend is the best female athlete in the world, I think it's just amazing. I think regardless of whatever she does on the mat, I think she's one of the best people I know, and I think she helps me with my jiu-jitsu, but I think she helps me more with my confidence and my self-belief. I think that's such an amazing thing that I've learned from her from the last couple of months.
That's awesome. Also, we had a question. I was curious if you would break down a little bit more about how you signed on with the Daisy Fresh crew. You were talking to me earlier about how Mount Vernon, very small town, kind of very similar to what you're used to. What's it been like getting in with Mount Vernon, Illinois from Ireland?
It's actually really similar. Like where I grew up in Ireland, it's like a small town, very similar to Mount Vernon. So I think that's one of the reasons why I got on so well there, is because the training is just exactly the way I like to train, kind of train hard, like intense, and then the fact that it's like not a big city and it's like somewhere small, like everybody knows everybody, the community is so kind of like caring. I think that's one of the reasons why I really clicked with the place.
That's awesome. Emily, we'd love to hear from you. Curious, you said you've been following along with some of the Who's Number Ones. What's been some of your favorite Who's Number One matchups in the past, and how does it feel finally, like you've been watching it as a fan, now you're on there? What's it like being on the big stage?
I would have to say my favorite Who's Number One matches, like, just depends on which matches were going on at that time. They're all super exciting and super fun. It's like a dream to be here, watching from home, and now being here is like eye-opening and seeing how much jiu-jitsu has grown.
Perfect. And for any of our fans, if you guys have questions for them, feel free to drop them in the YouTube chat. We'll connect you guys with them.
All right, that's our second preliminary match of the evening. Like I said, free on our YouTube. Up next, we're going to have Joseph Chen and Derek Rayfield. Welcome back to the official press conference for Tezos Who's Number One, Ste-Marie versus Bastos, presented by Fat Tire. This will be our third and final prelim match of the evening, the last free match available on our YouTube. We have Derek Rayfield from 10th Planet Las Vegas coming in a late replacement for his teammate Andy Varela against Joseph Chen from B Team. So, Derek, why don't you talk about the crazy situation? What, you got in 4 or 5 a.m. yesterday? Like, how'd you end up in this match?
Yes, sir. Yesterday, Andy walks up to me. I'm at 11 a.m. practice. He goes, "Hey, I can't make it tomorrow. Can I put you in touch with I think it was someone, Mike from Flow, get you on a plane tonight?" And I said, yeah, I'm always down to scrap. I'm a late replacement for a tournament on Saturday as well. So, that's not something that makes me scared. That's something I like to rise to the occasion of. So I'm excited to put on a good match tomorrow.
Joseph Chen, based out of Austin, now training at B Team. Why don't you hit your pose for the people real quick? What's the deal with this thing? You love doing this pose all the time. What's going on with that?
I don't know, just somehow it became a thing.
So what's it been like for you training at B Team? Did Craig give you any advice for this match? Like, what are you thinking going into this?
Nothing in particular. Trying to work new parts of my game that I'm trying to incorporate, and just trying to display good jiu-jitsu.
So this is a welterweight match, 170 pounds. You're weighted at 169.6. You're way under 165.4. Going to be an exciting match. Derek, what do you think the people can expect tomorrow when they tune in?
They can expect some exciting jiu-jitsu. I'm not going to give away my secrets, but we're gonna see a lot of good stuff.
How about you, Chen? What are you looking forward to tomorrow?
I generally agree. Hopefully we can display good jiu-jitsu, and so as long as that happens, I'm very happy.
All right, let's go over to Connor. The fans got any questions for these two?
Yeah, absolutely. Derek, I was curious. You said you had gotten in here way last second. Sounds like you got to your hotel room at like 5 a.m. How are you feeling right now, man? That's obviously a super long night. You're competing later, and you're competing tomorrow, it sounds like, or Saturday, it sounds like as well. Tell me about how you're feeling.
Bro, I'm just trying to get a nap after this, man. That's all I'm thinking about right now. After that nap, we can start strategizing and figure out what we're doing tomorrow. But, right now, just trying to get to nap time.
That's perfect.
Me
Nap
too.
time will be coming quick. We'll get you out of here not too soon. Also curious, Joseph has been, obviously, he moved over to B Team in the last years. He's been competing quite often, ADCC Open, a lot of these ADCC trials. Have you been following him? And what do you think about Joseph's competition, his game? What are you expecting from him?
The only thing I know about Joseph is a small conversation me and Andy had yesterday. I know he leg locked Andrew Tackett, which is, an incredible feat. I'm not letting you touch my feet tomorrow at all.
Joseph, what do you think about that? What are some of the entries that you're going to be looking for? What's your game plan for this fight? And does it change any knowing that you have such a last-second replacement now that Andy's out and his opponent or his teammates in?
Not necessarily. Generally in competition, I'm looking to try to display stuff I'm working on. So, nothing in particular. Trying to incorporate new things. So, besides that, nothing special. Like every match usually.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
All right, that's our third and final prelim of the night. Derek Rayfield versus Joseph Chen. Up next, we will have Ethan Krellinston and Fabricio Andre. Welcome back to the official press conference for Tezos Who's Number One, Ste-Marie versus Bastos, presented by Fat Tire. This will be the first match of the main card, only available on FloGrappling.com. It's a hell of a match. Doesn't get much better than this. You got Ethan Krellinston from B-Team Jiu-Jitsu on my right, Fabricio Andre, the Hokage from Fight Sports Manaus on my left. This is going to be a banger of a match for sure. This is a lightweight match. Let me see what you guys weighed in at real quick. Ethan came in at 154.8, Fabricio 154.0. All right, so Ethan, this is what, your third time on Who's Number One?
Yes.
What do you know about Fabricio, and what do you think of going into this match tomorrow?
Man, if anyone out there knows anything about any of us, me or Fabricio, I think it's a pretty safe bet to say it's going to be an exciting match, potentially match of the night, match of the year, maybe. It's going to be exciting. He's going to be coming after me, trying to take my head off, and yeah, man, it's going to be exciting.
Fabricio, you love doing these interviews, huh? Sorry? You love doing these press conferences, huh?
No.
So, all right, you're a Who's Number One veteran now. You've been on here before. I mean, what are you thinking of going in this match with Ethan?
It is a very explosive. Have a good wrestler, so let's go. It's cool.
All right, very explosive.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Coming
yeah.
from him, that's a hell of a compliment.
Yeah, if Hokage is calling you explosive, man, I'll take it. That's a compliment.
All right, let's go over to Connor. Do they got any questions for the Hokage or Ethan in there?
Yeah, first question I'll field to Ethan. Ethan, do you feel you have an advantage with the mullet being so much more aerodynamic than your opponent?
You know, I thought that, but I see the Naruto headband, and I see that I'm evenly matched. So I'd say it's leveled the playing field. I did what I could to get the advantage, but, you know, it's a game of millimeters at the top level. So
that's totally
Thank you,
fair
man.
enough.
Thank you so much.
On a serious note, Fabricio, we were curious. I wanted to hear a little bit about ADCC. I know round one, you went up against Cole Abate. Obviously, very close decision that you ended up winning. Super fun. The run got cut short when you ran into your teammate Diogo. However, you came back in the absolute. It was something that was really fun to watch. I believe one of the craziest moments for me personally is watching you go up there and take on the biggest guys in the tournament. Can you tell us a little bit about ADCC and how it felt?
I'm very grateful for fighting. I like to show all my skills and show my power up. You know, it's a Hokage style. So that's it. It's me, Crazy Dog. Let's go. É nóis, cachorro. Pô.
Thanks.
Crazy Dog.
Awesome. That's what we got from the fans. Thank you, guys.
Ethan, you worried about that power up tomorrow? You gonna get scared when he does that thing?
It's gonna pump me up, man. That's sick. You got to teach me that after the match. I need to learn that power up, man. That with the mullet, I'll be unstoppable. So
100%. All right, this is gonna be the first match of the main card. Up next, we have Heisem Rita and Luke Griffith. Welcome back to the official press conference for Tezos Who's Number One, Ste-Marie versus Bastos, presented by Fat Tire. This is the second match of the main card. On my right, Mayssa Bastos from Detroit Jiu-Jitsu. On my left, Luke Griffith from New Wave. This is a heavyweight matchup, weighing at about a pound apart. I think you were 232, you were 233. Both guys, really big guys. First off, Mayssa, you've been on Who's Number One several times now. You're like 5-1 or 6-1 or something. What do you think of going to this match with Luke tomorrow?
The plan's always the same. I'm always excited to be back, excited to put on the show, and I'm trying to improve my winning record to 6-1 tomorrow.
Luke, how do you think you match up with Mayssa? Heisman's a very tough matchup. We saw him, he just tapped Cyborg at ADCC, tapped El Monstro here before. What do you think about this match?
Yeah, man, I think Heisman's a really talented practitioner, and I'm excited to get the opportunity to go out there and showcase my skills against him. It's nothing I'm too worried about. I prepare for this every single day in the gym, so let's get it.
Heisman, what do you think about, I'm looking at Corey's betting lines thing. It has you plus 130 and him minus 165. It says you the dog, even though you're 5-1 and Who's Number One. What do you think about that?
Yeah, man, I don't really let that get to my head or anything like that. I always fight like an underdog, so hey, it's nothing new. Let's go.
All right, Luke, what do you think the people can expect when they tune in and watch this match between you and Heisman tomorrow?
I think it's going to be an exciting matchup. Heisman's a guy that I've watched for a long time, very explosive, has a lot of great techniques. I'm still relatively unknown, and I'm looking to show what I can do, So we'll see. Maybe I'm feeling another smother, I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
You think he can smother you, Heisman?
Hey, good luck on that.
All right, let's go over to Connor and see if the fans have any questions for these guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Heisman, first one we'll send your way. Michael Sears had talked about it just a second ago, but every time you step on the mats, you seem to have like a fan favorite kind of electric moment. At Who's Number One Championships, it was taking out Big O, then it was Elder Cruz, and it was also Cyborg in round 1 of ADCC. Can you walk us through some of those big moments and what's changed as far as your competition life, if you're being recognized by fans ever since? What's it been like since really electrifying the jiu-jitsu community like you have?
Yeah, man, I've always been that type of athlete. I always bring out the excitement. Like since Who's Number One, when I step on the mat, it's always looking to put on the show. Looking to put on an exciting performance, not just winning. So yeah, they can expect the same, more of the same. Like I said, it's only gonna take one wrong move. Just let me, and I'm gonna keep going and get the finish. So yeah, the fans can always expect an exciting show. That's for sure.
Awesome. And kind of on the opposite side of things, Heisman's had, a year or two of just having really cool highlights against opponents and kind of stepping up his competition gradually. You had your Who's Number One debut against Joe Dierkeising, had a really awesome finish, finished it really quick, and then immediately stepped up into ADCC and faced down Yuri Samois, who ended up winning the Absolute. What was that step up like, and how do you feel, do you feel more prepared for this? What was it like in that ADCC experience in?
Yeah, so it was awesome, man. I mean, getting to have my debut on Who's Number One really just exposed me to high-level competition. Went on to win the trials and compete at ADCC. Yuri's a tough guy, and we had a pretty tightly contested match. I'm always looking to improve in the gym, day by day. So from ADCC to now is completely different, Luke. So I'm getting ready to show that.
That's awesome. Heisman, also curious. I know you've been training a little bit more over at the B team. What's that been like? I see you getting rounds in with Nicky Rod. Do you feel that's preparing you more for this battle?
Oh yeah, for sure. Training, spending the last couple of weeks at B team training with some of the best guys in the world, man. Like really, I've always had the confidence, but it's like even boosted my confidence even more that I can take on anybody in the world right now. So yeah, it makes the giraffe even more dangerous, I'll say. So yeah, the fans can expect something new, that's for sure. Let's go.
All right, that's the second match of the main card. It's got to be the first time we've had two people from Africa going against each other on Who's Number One, right? All right, up next we got Kolobate and Damian Anderson.
Thank you, guys.
Welcome back. The official press conference, Tezos, who's number one? Ste-Marie versus Bastos, presented by Fat Tire. This is the third match of the main card. On my right, we have Cole Abate from Art of Jiu-Jitsu. On my left, Damian Anderson from B Team. This is a lightweight match. Cole went in right at 155. Damian came in 154.6. Cole is the big favorite in the line, minus 300. Damian is plus 240. First off, Damian, you were a really late replacement for Josh Cisneros. What do you think when they offered you this match?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great match. You know, he won trials. And then, it was a close fight between him and Fabricio. But, Cole is I think, still a minor. So I had to make sure that Craig wasn't in town. You know, Texas state law doesn't allow him within 500 feet of minors. So he's in New York. Everything was good. I was like, all right, let's get this done.
Yeah, Cole, so, I mean, we offer you a change of opponent. Damian Anderson, it's a very different matchup than Josh Cisneros. So what do you think about the change of opponent?
I feel prepared for the challenge. I know they're both very dangerous opponents, Josh Cisneros and Damian. They both have a similar approach to the way they fight, so I think the transition was pretty easy for me. And I try to prepare for whatever scenario comes up, and this is one of those changes that you can't really control, but just be prepared for whenever it happens. So I'm happy with the challenge and ready to go out there and try and get the win.
Damien, how do you think you match up with Cole?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen Cole just because of trials. You know, he had a great performance, and he's one of the big up and comers from one of the guys that he's been competing since he was a kid, but now he's starting to become a man. You know, really hit that man strength and be able to beat up adults. So I've seen him compete a bunch. I think for WNO rule set, obviously he attacks submissions, but I feel his best attributes or his best skill sets are usually positional. So I feel like that kind of favors me, but it's a tough match either way.
You turn 18 like next week or something?
Next week I'll be 18.
Damn it.
Man strength Cole Abate. All right, Connor, we got any questions for these guys?
Yeah, I was actually curious. I'd love to hear from both of you on this one. Damien, we can send it over to you first.
Sure.
Is there a matchup on the card that you're just excited to watch as a fan, and what's your prediction for that matchup?
I was really excited to see Joseph and Andy Varela go at it. Joseph's, he's a world-class grappler. He hasn't really been able to showcase his abilities, on a big stage yet. So I was really excited for that. But, obviously that fell through. Now I'm just excited to see a big one is Ethan and Fabricio, just because of their styles. Ethan's very good at scramble situations, and it seems like Fabricio also dominates well in the scrambles. So it's a good clash of styles to see.
Same question, Cole.
Yeah, for me, I think the one I'm most excited about is the main event, the girl fight between Brianna and Mayssa. I think that'll be the best fight of the night, and I've got to see both of them train, and they're both very, very high level, and both possess really good strategies that will really show up in this rule set. So I'm really happy to see that fight and see how it goes. Also, same thing Damien said. Ethan and Fabricio will be a good one to watch, especially knowing that that's my division. So those are the two I'm looking forward to.
We didn't ask Damien his prediction for the match just because it was his teammate, and we're assuming he's not going to pick against his teammate. Hopefully, Damien.
You never know. Let's find out.
If it's Ethan, they will. All of them are going to pick against Ethan.
But I was curious, Cole, would you be willing to make a prediction for either one of those matches, either Ethan versus Fabricio or Mayssa versus Brianna?
Yeah, I think the girl fight, I don't know. That one's a toss-up. But the Fabricio and Ethan match, I've only gotten to feel Fabricio in competition. I've never gotten to compete against Ethan, but I know Fabricio has a really, really high skill level, and I'd probably go with him for that fight.
I'd love to follow that up. I know you touched down with Fabricio in competition. First round of ADCC, very close 0-0 decision win. Can you break that down for us and tell us afterwards kind of like how you're, I guess, regrouping?
Yeah, so of course wasn't the performance that I wanted to have. I wanted to go out there and show a dominant performance and win decisively. Didn't go the way that I thought it went, but that doesn't matter now. The only thing that I have control of is the mistakes that I made in the fight and trying to fix them, so that the next time I go out there, I don't have to commit those same errors.
Awesome. And Damien, you talked to Corey earlier. One of the things that came up in the interview was you said you're looking to pick off ADCC vets leading up into into the next ADCC. Can you tell us a little bit about that? What's that game plan looking like for you?
Game plan to take off ADCC vets?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't able to get into ADCC. So now leading up, I had a good performance at trials, obviously. Not my best performance. I mean, I'm still learning how to compete. I'm still relatively new compared to the rest of the athletes in 66. You know, a lot of them have been competing for, a decade or training for, 15, 16 years. I'm still very new in training as well as competition. So leading up to the next trials, my goal is to fight ADCC vets, show that I can beat those guys, or at least, hang with those guys, and then hopefully get that invite. So the next leading up to the next trials, the goal is to let's get some submissions on ADCC vets.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
All right, that's your third match of the main card. Up next, we'll have Jacob Couch and Bruno Matias.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, this is the co-main event for Tezos Who's Number One, Ste-Marie versus Bastos, presented by Fat Tire. This is another match that a late replacement, Isaac Michel, was supposed to go against Bruno Matias. Jacob Couch ended up coming in on late notice. Jacob, how many times you come in on late notice for us now?
I think this is like the third or fourth time that I've came in as a late replacement. Now I got to ask you something, Mike, before you ask me anything else. This is my fifth, sixth, Who's Number One, right?
No, I think more than that.
Two more?
Yeah,
Okay,
probably.
so for the next opponent, man, you got to find somebody I'm better looking than. It's been the third or fourth time that you all did this to me. I don't know how much longer I can hold up, Mike. This jiu-jitsu stuff is good, but I gotta improve upon the aesthetic, Yeah,
we do it to you on purpose, though. But Bruno, so what did you think? You were matched up with Isaac when we offered you Jacob Couch. How do you think you match up with Jacob Couch? What do you think about this matchup?
First, thank you for everyone to accept me, and they gave me the opportunity to fight. First, I was supposed to fight Isaac, and I was willing want to fight him because he's really good, and unfortunately didn't happen. But I'm very excited to fight Jacob Couch. I know he's very dangerous leg locks. His game is dangerous, but I think we never fight before, so it's gonna be an exciting match, and I'm here to put the show.
How do you think you match up against Couch? Like, how do you think you get the win tomorrow?
I think maybe he's gonna play a battle, and if he tries to wrestle me, I'm gonna try wrestle him too, take him down, and I think I'm gonna be passing his guard, playing around, messing his game, and expose his back, and hopefully get his back and finish.
All right, Couch. So he thinks you're gonna pull guard. He can pass, make you turtle, choke you. What do you think about that?
Well, I hope that doesn't happen. Pretty plain, cut, and simple, I hope Bruno's game plan doesn't work. That's what I hope, Mike. I'll be real honest with you.
How do you think it goes down? How do you think you match up with him, Couch?
I think he's just got like a good all-around jiu-jitsu game, man. He's good from a lot of different spots. So I'm gonna have to be on my P's and Q's and dot my I's tomorrow when the timer starts.
I believe somebody told me before this. I believe you have the most matches now in Who's Number One history. Do you think your experience here is going to help you out?
Well, I think experience is always a big factor with that, being more comfortable out there, and just man, it feels like when I been here competing at the Who's Number One. Obviously, there's nerves and all those other things that go into it before you compete, but it feels like a home almost now to me. Like I feel really comfortable here. I really like competing on this show. That's why, I don't mind taking the late replacements.
So it's a middleweight match. Both guys weighed in slightly under. Couch 184.8, Bruno 184.2. Couch is big favorite on -400. Bruno's +300. And the gambling lines. Let's go over to Connor. We got any fan questions for these guys?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to throw it over to you first, Bruno. No matter who your opponent is, whether it's Isaac or Jacob, one of the common denominators is world-class leg locks that you're going to have to deal with. How do you feel prepared to step into that game? Are you looking to avoid the leg lock game and keep it in your own realm? How do you feel prepared for that?
Of course, I avoid the leg locks, right? I know he's really good in his game, Isaac too, you know. So I have been training a lot along the year, and I have been training with Pedro Marinho. So he really tried to take my heels off my legs. So I'm here to fight him and then avoid the leg locks game that he have and pull my game.
Awesome. And speaking of Pedro, we had talked privately and on the podcast about you watching Pedro versus J-Rod at ADCC. Obviously, Pedro's a Gracie Barra teammate. What did you think about that match? Have you seen anything from Pedro's game that makes you think like maybe you can kind of get something out of it? Tell me a little bit about ADCC with your Bruno Matias versus J-Rod, or Pedro versus J-Rod, just watching it.
Watching that match, it was, I think for anybody coming up in the sport, if you want to be the best, you got to study the best, and Pedro's the champ. So, if I want the belt, I got to study the guy who's got the belt. So he's good everywhere. I know, he's going to, if that were to come to fruition, I know he would bring it. The same, I think Bruno's going to bring it. I think they're both ready and both game opponents, and Pedro's just an incredible competitor. So anytime I can get a chance to study somebody that I got respect for, I will. I'll take that chance all day long.
I'd also love to ask, you have a new teammate that's also on the card, Rosa. Can you tell us what it's like been having her in the gym, and what are some of your predictions for that matchup?
I predict Rosa by submission, and it's really cool, man, to see somebody, kind of like take that jump and take that risk, joining the team, move into a new city in the middle of BFE. It's like getting to see her be on the card and kind of getting to see her work and her dedication pay off and kind of come to being on a prelim like the Who's Number One is really special. It's really a joy for me to get to watch my teammate and friend do that.
Awesome. And one last question for the both of you. I'd love to hear, Bruno, we can throw it over to you first. Who's your favorite matchup on the card just to watch as a fan? What are you most excited for?
I'm really excited to watch Fabrice Andre fight. I think I'm really fan of him.
Awesome. Jacob?
I think Cole and Damien are going to be that one's going to be like the 4th of July, man. I can't wait to see that match.
Do you have a prediction for us?
I do not.
Playing it safe. Thank you, guys.
All right, there's your co-main event. Up next, we have the main event, Mayssa Bastos, Brianna Ste-Marie. Welcome back to the official press conference for Tezos Who's Number One, Ste-Marie versus Bastos, presented by Fat Tire. Here's your main event. On my left, Mayssa Bastos, based out of New York, training in Uni Jiu-Jitsu. On my right, Brianna Ste-Marie, out of Montreal, Brazilian top team. This is a bantamweight, 135-pound match. Mayssa coming in way under at 121.2 pounds. Mayssa, how are you feeling going into this match, and why are you moving up in weight so much now?
I feel good. I'm excited for the match tomorrow. Looking forward. And what was the other question? I forgot.
You keep fighting bigger girls. Why are you moving up in weight so much? Like, you could have made 115 for this easy. You're fighting at 135 now.
Just for the challenge. I want to challenge myself, so that's why I'm going up.
Absolutely. And Brianna, I mean, it might seem like you're a lot bigger. It's an advantage, but could probably have some disadvantages too. And how do you feel you match up with Mayssa going into this match?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I for sure have a weight advantage on Mayssa. I think her body type combined with her super technical guard is going to be a really interesting challenge to see. I obviously like to pass guard. It's going to be really interesting to see how I'm able to do that with someone as talented as Mayssa. But I'm super excited for the match, and yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Mayssa's got probably one of the best guards in jiu-jitsu, and I mean, like you said, you like to pass. You're going to try and pass. Like, how do you approach that?
Yeah, I mean, well, I don't want to give too much away right before the match, but yeah, I mean, obviously, there's a first time for everything. I don't know if Mayssa's actually ever gotten her guard passed in competition.
Have you?
In the color belt, yes.
Okay.
That's it. So, you know, but then again, there's you know, Mikey never really got his guard passed before either, or Paulo until they did. So, we'll see, obviously.
Mayssa, so you're on this journey now of trying to fight bigger girls, moving up in weight. I mean, how are you trying to adjust your game? What kind of adjustments you're having to make to go against these bigger girls?
Just trying to train more with like big people at the gym, and just trying just some details, but more like training with bigger people at the gym.
All right, Connor, we got any questions for him?
Yeah, absolutely. I would actually love to start off with you, Brianna.
Yeah.
Last year, around this time, you were making your Who's Number One debut on the prelims. Since then, you've won 2 ADCC trials, you've been to ADCC, and you're now headlining the Who's Number One card. What's that journey look like for you? How's it feel? Also, congratulations for being here.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been a really incredible year, and you know, I kind of told myself as I was going up the ranks, like I was just gonna do everything and like look for every opportunity possible. You know, I sent messages left, right, and center. I sent a message to Mike asking him to be on, you know, Who's Number One. You know, in the summer of that year, I sent messages to, you know, Combat Jiu-Jitsu. I sent messages everywhere. I was like, I just want to, you know, get my name out there. I want the opportunity to fight against the best in the world. And I feel like this year I've really like made a name for myself, and now I get opportunities to fight, you know, athletes like Mayssa Bastos, who's, you know, incredibly well accomplished, multiple-time world champion. So you know, this is the life I want to live, and it's really cool that I am here and I'm headlining this event now, and I'm living this life. I'm making my life with jiu-jitsu. This is what I wanted. Yeah.
Awesome, thank you.
Yeah.
Mayssa, I'd love to know, you've fought on Who's Number One before. You're probably one of the most decorated veterans that we have on the card. How do you think Brianna Ste-Marie matches up against some of your older opponents? Where do you think she is as far as level-wise? How do you think Brianna stacks up against some of your more recent opponents on Who's Number One, ADCC?
How do you think you match up with Brianna?
How I feel?
Yeah.
I really don't know if I understand the question.
It's okay. That's okay. We would also love to hear both of your guys' predictions on maybe your favorite matches. Maybe you guys can give us some of that. Brianna, what's your favorite matchup just to watch as a fan?
That's like really hard to narrow down. I think that, you know, the Ethan versus Fabricio match is just going to be fireworks from like start to finish. I got to give that one to my boy Ethan, but that's going to be a crazy match. The women's match on the undercard too, like, you know, Rosa's been on a tear. I'm really excited to see her in this format. And then I also, you know, did some research on Emily when they announced the card, and I saw that she's been like, you know, a killer on the scene as well. So I think that match is definitely one to see as well. Yeah.
Awesome. Same question, Mayssa.
I would like to watch Cole Abate and Fabrice Andre. I think this is the one that I would like to watch the most.
Do you have a prediction for that match?
For both of them?
For the Cole match, either one, whichever one you think you'd like to give the prediction for.
I think Cole's gonna win, and Fabricio too. That's what I think.
Perfect. Thank you, guys.
All right, this is our main event of Tezos Who's Number One Ste-Marie versus Bastos, presented by Fat Tire. I'll give you guys both a chance to say. You got anything to say before we get out of here?
I mean, just always shout out to my my family back in Canada.
Just want to say thank you, FloGrappling, for bringing me here again, and I'm really honored to be the first and female main event.
All right, tune in Friday, November 11th, 7 o'clock Central Time. Thank you very much.